She likes her neighbors, but their young kids are running around the house butt naked and outside the house butt naked, and she's got some beef with this. Is she right or is she overreacting? If you got a problem that's going on in your life and you want to share it with Bert Show fam all around the country, then hit us up at thebertshow.com. Cassie, what do we have?
Hello, Bert Show. So I need some advice on what I should do with my neighbors. Backstory. We're a military family living in military housing in Okinawa, Japan. We've been living here for the past 2 years, and a little over 6 months ago, 2 new families moved into the houses in front of ours. Everything was going well until the summer heat started striking us, and they started letting their boys play in a small pool in the front yard, but naked. Obviously, I have no problem with the boys playing outside and getting wet. The issue is that they let their boys run around butt naked. The boys are between 2 and 5 years old. I respect that everyone raises their kids how they please, and I wouldn't care if they did that in a fenced yard, but they're doing it in the front yard, and we live too close to each other. I would mind my own business, but I have a 5-year-old that loves to play outside. Still, I honestly don't feel comfortable letting my child play outside while other boys are outside naked because I'm always teaching my son the importance of protecting and respecting his body and that no one should see him naked. He has seen the boys naked and has asked me, confused, as to why those kids are naked. And I'm not the only neighbor that feels uncomfortable. One of my other neighbors has a daughter, and she also told me how uncomfortable she feels about the boys being butt naked, especially since she has a 6-year-old girl. Today, I want to speak to them and ask them to please put a diaper or underwear on their kids, but my husband told me not to because he doesn't want to have problems with anyone. What would you guys do? Speak directly to the moms or post as an anonymous on our neighborhood Facebook page? Obviously, I wouldn't tag them or anything like that. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. You guys are seriously the best.
I'm really interested to see what you guys think. 1-855-BERT Show. Kristen, if it's you in your neighborhood and right next door to you is a family that's got a 3 and a 5-year-old, got that little pool out there, and they are naked.
Like, just going with my gut, it doesn't bother me. But I respect her position, but personally, especially at that young, it wouldn't be an issue for me. I would be concerned, though, with other people and creepers. So I would want to protect my kids from anybody who could just look at them sideways.
But just as the neighbor, you wouldn't have a problem.
No, as the neighbor, I wouldn't have an issue with it.
Mo?
Yeah, I probably would sit this one out. I just wouldn't know what to say to the parents. I feel like I just would feel like it's not my business, and I would probably just stay out of it.
I'd be uncomfortable. Because I've been in that situation before, but it was a community pool that we were hanging out in, and these people had their 2 kids running around total naked, but we're all swimming in that pool. And I was like, that's odd. And then one of them fell off the side and into the pool, and I don't think she can swim. And my husband, he's just having a beer on 4th of July, went to save her, and I was like, no, I'll get the young girl that is nude splashing around in the pool, because then, and I hand her to her dad, and her dad's like, ugh, sorry. And I'm like, I feel like that would have been weird if my husband grabbed her, and that puts people in a precarious situation. And also, they're in the front yard in their kiddie pool. That's where I'm like, okay, we're not in a community pool, that's fine. But they're in their front yard in a kiddie pool, people are driving by. And Kristen, you just experienced, on the beach, somebody taking pictures of a baby. And why would you want pictures of someone else's baby? And I just imagine somebody driving by might be weird and might snap some photos of your naked kids.
That's me. So I wouldn't have Jimmy in the front yard naked. We would have all naked activities in the backyard. Growing up in the country, and kids are
That's
outside
different.
and tinkle outside and play outside. I remember playing in sprinklers, and we weren't wearing any clothes, whatever. And that doesn't offend me, and it doesn't bother me. And as a neighbor, I would not be offended. So I wouldn't say anything, but I wouldn't let my child do it, if that makes sense.
It wouldn't bother me at all. I feel like I'm too chill, though, because yesterday I said the same thing about taking a picture of your baby, and you guys are like, what? You're taking a picture of my baby. And I'm like, no, it wouldn't bother me at all. This one wouldn't bother me. And if my kids had questions about it, I'd say different families handle things differently. But here, that's not what we do. Hey, Monica, good morning. You understand where the neighbor is coming from and would be upset.
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
I just feel like even though the kids are between the ages of 2 or 5, as a female growing up, I know my mom would not have allowed that at all. I know she would have knocked on the door and definitely told the neighbors to close their children because we weren't allowed to see things like that until my parents taught us. So I didn't know what a boy's body part even looked like at the age of, 5 or 3 or 2,
Right.
I just feel like, I don't know, I just have some respect for other people's opinions. And that's her opinion as feeling uncomfortable. I think she should say something 100%.
I don't even know if there's anything you could do about it. I mean, even if you go over there and you say something about it, it's my front yard.
You could print out the registry of sex offenders in your area and be like, here's where they live nearby.
Well, they're on a
Maybe you
military
shouldn't do
base.
that. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, they're on a
Right.
military base.
The Bert Show.